Well, good morning. This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And I'm not broadcasting my video because if I try to do that and share my screen, my whole computer kind of gets bogged down. So let me get my laptop over here going so I can see what is really going out on my channel. Stand by for a few seconds while I get it set up. Okay. If I click on this, it should work. Come on, laptop, wake up. Here we go. It's coming up. Okay, in the meantime, while it's coming up, I'm going to share my screen. You have something to look at. And then I will go to this screen. This is SDR console. And let me turn the volume down for a second. I'll turn it up for a second. Okay, I think that is, let me go to another page here and I'll show you what I think it is, because I've been wrong before. Let's go to this page. I think this is Radio Saudi. Yeah, it's on 15300. And is that where I'm at? Okay, where'd I go to the other page? 15380. I was wrong. Yeah, it won't be the first time. So let me go back. Thought I had it tuned to 15300. Okay, stand by. Go back to the schedules and I'll put in 15380 and say now. Oh, it is 15380. I got to get a new pair of glasses. So I think this is Radio Saudi, way over in the Middle East, and I'm here in Florida. So that's pretty darn good, if that's what it is. Now, I've guessed at other stations that I've heard, and I've guessed wrong. So I may be wrong here, but it is coming in really good. Let me go back to the radio. So there it is over there. Look at that signal there. That signal is big. And this is true all across the band. Now, typically, way up here at 15 megahertz, I don't receive very good until the late afternoon. And here it is. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning here in Florida. So maybe that's not what I'm hearing. But let me let you listen again. واستطاعت القوات الشرعية وبإسناد جوي من التحالف تحرير موقع المكلكل العسكري والاستراتيجي الذي يقع أقصى شرق المدينة إثر هجمات عدة شنتها على مواقع الميليشيا تم فيها دحرهم من الموقع. It sounds like it's something from that area. And look at, here's another one I got a few minutes ago, maybe gone now. Is the voice of Turkey. Yeah, it's pretty weak right now. That's the thing about shortwave radio. It comes and goes. Just like that signal went zipping through here. Let's what else I got on my list here. See if Radio Australia is still there. Yeah. Oops. Music. We don't want music. So Radio Australia was there. There is Radio Korea, which that sounds like teletype. Doesn't sound like voice. Of course, I'm always getting fooled because I'll get a frequency and I get something on it, and I'll look it up in some of these lists, and they'll tell me it's something, and it's not really. It's wrong. What's this signal here? That's music, so I have to turn it down. Okay, that's probably 12.05. Let me look that up. 12.05. 12 point, did I say 12.05? Oh, what did I say? Yeah, 12.05. Right on that, right on there. Okay, now I got to find that page again. 12.050. Now, and that says, that's close by. That says it could be EWTN in Van Diver, which is somewhere in the United States, somewhere near me, according to the little picture. It's like maybe North Louisiana. That could be what it is. Just go back. If you got any ideas, I'm going to look in the chat room here. I see EMZE and a numero 73. And, oh, numero 73 says his name is Patrick from France. Wow. Thanks for stopping by, Patrick. And I got Bud here. Good morning. And as you can see, look at these, man, what is that mammoth station right there? Turn the volume back up. Maybe it's just noise. No, that's that RTTY thing. I think it's RTTY. And there's another big one right here. Same thing. So what? Let me turn the volume down. So what down in that frequency, this one is at exactly 12 megahertz, are these signals? If you have any idea, let me know. But like I say, I was playing around with the radio here using a FIFI SDR with a MFJ vertical antenna, and it's about 9:10 in the morning here in Florida, and the signals are all over the place. I mean, I don't know what the conditions are, but things are booming in, and this is typically much higher frequency than I listen to. Notice, notice how when I update the screen like that, I lose some of the screen and I have to paint it back in. Let me restart SDR console again. Okay, now let's go back and restart it so I get full screen back. There it is. Now this is another thing weird about SDR console. Now this is version 3, which is a developmental version. Sometimes when I come back in, the FIFI SDR acts like it's deaf. So let me start again. As you can see, there's not much there now. So I'll start again. See what happens. Keep all the signals I had before come back. Yep, there you go. I don't know what that's about. Seems like every other time that I start SDR, it works or doesn't work. So it's working now. So we're at 12 megahertz and we're getting this very strong, what sounds like RTTY. Don't know if that's what it is. Again, I apologize for not announcing this Hangout further in advance, but I really hadn't planned on doing one at this time. But, and this is kind of the way I'm going to do some of these Hangouts is when I have something I want to show you, I'm going to start a Hangout. So jump in there and join us. And the other thing is, this is one of the what I call an interactive hangout. I've got my radio running here in Florida, and I hope that the viewers that are viewing this hangout live will turn on their radios wherever they are and give me some feedback. Well, are they receiving this signal? Like this signal is at 12 megahertz, very strong. Matter of fact, there's a couple of them in here. They appear to be RTTY. Don't know if it's encrypted or not. And then over here, this appears to be voice. Let me click on that at 1205. Yeah, that's the one I had before. I think that's Radio Saudia. That's what it says in the listing that I'm looking at on the internet. But it's booming in. Now, I don't know. It could be a local Spanish station. I don't know. It kind of sounds like that now. It doesn't sound like the exact thing I was getting before. Let me turn the volume back up for you. Maybe you can hear it through my microphone. Yeah, that now sounds like Spanish. So let me go look at the listing again. Maybe they've changed what they're broadcasting. What language they're broadcasting. And no. Oh, yeah, look at there. Oh, sorry, correction. I'm now up at 12.05. This is EWTN, which is close to me, and they're broadcasting in Spanish. Okay, what was the other station I had when I started? Let's go back here. Let's go under favorites. I think I marked it. International. No, I didn't. It was Radio Saudia. Now, I think it was in this frequency someplace, or in this band. Maybe this one up here. That was pretty weak. I'm going to have to turn a fan on. It's getting hot in here. You may hear some wind noise because I turned the fan on. Okay, I got a comment from Patrick, and he says, nothing on 12 megahertz here. Maybe internal generated noise. No, it didn't sound like noise or RFI. It just was a distinct RTTY type signal. At least I think so. Okay. Yes, Radio Australia is back on the air, and they're stronger than ever. Let me just go through that quickly. It might be too late in the morning for me to hear it. There. I got to be careful. It's music. But there's Radio Australia at 9.580, and you can see there's a monster signal there. So they are back, and they're back strong. I did a show earlier this morning about them, and they are back strong. Let's see what else I have on my list. I'm beginning to add to this SDR console program my finds on shortwave radio. So you can add that to the list. Here's just a few of them I've added. I forgot to add that one that was Radio Saudi. Forgot to add that one. I was getting what I thought was Radio New Zealand earlier too. Let me go to that one. No, it's gone. There is something over here. Whoa, what was that that just flashed through? Oh boy. Now there's something on 9.71. It actually sounds like two stations there, one in Spanish and one music, I think. There's signals all over the band here. I'm going to stay on this one for a few minutes or seconds. Does anybody know what 9.710 is at this time of the day, which is 9 o'clock here in Florida? Let me look and see what my listing on the internet says. Not my listing, but the listing on the internet. Gosh, I forgot already what it was. 971. See what it says. 971. 9710 now. Sounds like it's Spanish. Oh, could be China radio, or it could be, more likely, Radio Habana in Cuba, which is just south of me in Florida. That's my guess. Okay, let's go back. Let's, no, while we're here, let's click any station, and we have to click the language, otherwise the listing is too big. Say English. Now, see what's out there. Oh, a ton of stuff is out there. So let's, I'm looking at the map here to see what might be interesting to try. Let's try 7260. 7260. Let's go down here, see what that is, or could be. 7260 is whatever, Radio Vanua, and it's probably not something I can receive. And it's out here, probably it's off the coast of Australia. Well, let's see if we can get that. That again is 7260. Let's give it a try. 7260. Whoop. Thought I passed it. 260. Okay. There. Really weak right there. Okay, let me go back to the chat room here. Thomas asked, do you have to use an offset in that software? I don't have to use an offset with this FIFI SDR because it's specifically for the lower frequencies below 30 megahertz. So you don't have to put in an offset. I didn't, back to Tom's question again, I did not even do a calibration, and it seems to be right on. And we're not getting anything at 7260. There's something over here. Oh, that's probably, yeah, that is the amateur radio band down that low at 7.250. That's the amateur radio band. So that is an amateur radio operator. Now, excuse me, down in the 70 megahertz and right now. So I'm going to see signals coming and going, which are amateur radio operators. So let's get away from that. Let's go back to the web page. And let's go a little higher. We were too low there. Okay, there is Wantuk, Radio Light. I got them earlier this morning. At least I think I did. And I marked it, so it should be in my favorites. I think I marked it. Let me go back to the map again. Let me look where it is. I think it's in New Guinea. Yeah, okay, it's in New Guinea, so that's what I marked it. So let's go back to that. International. .25, is that right? Yeah, that's the frequency, but it's no longer there, not surprising. I usually get Radio Australia and China radio stations over that way early in the morning. And it's already 9:25. There is something right there. Oh my gosh, a monster signal. It sounds like a Spanish language, and it's probably a local station. I get in Florida, I get a lot of local within 1,000 miles of Florida, Spanish-speaking stations, and they're not in the listings, so I don't know what they are. Okay, let's look at down here. This may be a ham operator. Yeah, that's too low again. Okay, let's get away from this. Whoops. Up, way up in frequency up here. Let's see. We could probably get the Overcomer Ministry all over the bands. I don't want that. Now there's Voice of Indonesia. And it says over here it's a pretty strong signal for me right now. So that's 9525. Let's try that. No, nothing there. But there is something over here. What is that monster? No, it's music. It's like, 9.580. Yeah. And it's still booming in. Let's go a little higher. Not much else that looks like a real signal. There's one small one here. Go on. Turn the volume up. You see it's about 9.455. Okay, Thomas says he's getting 7.05 strong here in Ohio. Okay, thanks. He believes it's Radio Martini from Greenville in the United States. So that would explain why it's so strong. Okay, thanks for that report, Thomas. Sounds like there's something at 9.455, but it's pretty weak. Pretty weak. Okay, let's go back to the frequency page. Could not get 9.525. Okay, the beauty of this web page, and this web page is short-wave.info, gives you this listing and many different things. Plus, once you do a search, I search on any station broadcasting in English now. You can come down here to the listing and you can click on this little blue button, for instance, remarks, and it will sort the stations in order of strength at your location, expected strength at your location. So let's see what, yeah, naturally it would show Okeechobee, which is in Florida. And what else? Voice of Turkey, 15450. I think I started with that. Let me go back to it. Yeah, I think I've got that in my favorite. Yeah, Voice of Turkey right here. And there's something there. I'll turn it up for a few minutes. Kind of hard to understand. Software, SDR console version 3, has a ton of things that you can change. You can change the bandwidth, you can change the mode, you can change the gain on the receiver. There's a ton of things you can change. I'm kind of leaving them alone right now. I've kind of optimized them for this particular setup, so I'm going to leave them alone. See what else we got that this web page tells me it should be strong. It's far away. I tried Voice of Nigeria. That didn't work. I tried Voice of Indonesia. And of course, Radio Australia is booming in. And there's several China Radio International frequencies. Let me look at the chat page. Okay, there's nothing new in the chat page, unless it crashed. Okay, I'm going to ask to the few viewers that are live if there's any station or any frequencies you want me to try while I'm looking here myself. Now, I have to keep in mind what you're seeing is delayed from 15 to 30, 90 seconds. So there's a delay there. Okay. KBS. I wonder if KBS is on. That's right now it's 6095. That's 6095. Still haven't got the hang of selecting frequencies with this software, so I have to do it kind of crudely. Doesn't work the way I thought it would. Okay, is there anything there? Doesn't appear to be anything down there. Nothing. Couple of real weak signals. Of course, the conditions are changing. You know, time's going on. Typically, I can receive shortwave up until 9:30, and then it kind of gets pretty weak, and then the middle bands come in, comes in, and in the afternoon, 15 megahertz comes in, so it kind of cycles through. And I'm down here at 6 megahertz. and that's typically not that good this time of day. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let me look at the chat. Okay, we got nothing new in the chat unless it's frozen on me. To this schedule, which is not giving me much. See down here, you see the number of bars, which indicates the signal strength. And I'm way down to 1 bar now. And red indicates stations I should be able to receive, and then it goes down, and then it's black, no bars, meaning I probably can't receive it. But it's just an indication. I don't know how accurate it is. So up here are the strongest stations that I should be able to receive it. These have got 4 or 5 bars. So just for the heck of it, let's see if we can hear the Preacher Man up at 11.825, just for the heck of it. 11.825. 11.825. There's a signal there. Big signal right there. See if I can hear it. Now, that's not very good. Of course, it's up there at 11 megahertz, which it's a little early to be getting strong signals on 11 megahertz here in Florida right now. It's a little early. Let's, of course, he's all over the band. Let's try. Let's click on that, and then it'll show me all the frequencies he's on. And I could pick one. How about 9.455? I can hear him here. Not very good. Let's try 9.455. 9, 4, 5, 5. Okay. Nope, I don't see him there either. Should be right there. Nope. I guess the band is gone away. Kind of looks like it. Now, the one thing about, let me turn this volume down. Okay, one thing about this FiFi SDR, it was made to receive HF. It's pretty small. As a matter of fact, let me just close this down, and I'll go back to my Hangout screen, and I'll stop sharing, and I'll turn on my camera, hopefully. Yep. And unfortunately, it's not pointing where I wanted it. So let's see if I can rotate it without breaking it off again. And I got to move something that's in my way that I can't see. I can't quite get over there to show you what the FiFi looks like. I don't want to. The trouble is the mounting. Oh, I know what I can do. Let's see. If I turn this knob, and I turn this knob, then I can crank the camera over some. And I'm almost there. Okay, let me. So I apologize for the shakiness, and this thing is not mounted that well. If I could turn it just a little bit. Okay, there. Right? I'm going to get something to point with here. Right here. I'm trouble with this Hangout screen. It's backwards. So I have to remember to go to the obstructs. Right here is the little Fifi box. It's, like I say, it's an SDR, cost about $150. It was given to me by one of my friends, Manuel. And it took me a little while to get it, the software working with it. And I've got 3 or 4 packages of software that works with it now, including SDR console. And it's made for, it's got the USB output over here and the antenna connector here, which is a B and C. That's it. And it just works. As Thomas was talking about, did it require an offset? No, because it doesn't tune above 30 megahertz. So it doesn't have an up converter, doesn't need an up converter. So that's what I'm using this morning. I found that it works quite well. Now, the one characteristic about it that, you know, it's like when you go from a beat up Chevy to a nicer car, and you really like it, really, you know, it's really enjoy it. And then after you've had that car for a while, then you want something better like a Cadillac or a Lincoln or something like that. Well, I've really enjoyed this. It's finally a SDR that works very good on shortwave radio. The one thing that I quest for is one with a wider bandwidth, meaning how much you can look at on your screen at a given time. It has a maximum bandwidth of 192 kilohertz. That's what you were seeing when I was showing you the SDR console screen. That's the maximum it can sweep through somewhat real time and show you on the spectrum display and the waterfall display what it's hearing. There's another one called SDR Play, which is the same price, $150, but it has a bandwidth of almost 10 megahertz, 10 megahertz. And so you can see a chunk of 10 megahertz. So you could see, for instance, you could see from 2 megahertz to 12 megahertz. And of course, it depends on your computer, how much your computer can process on your screen at one time. So you can see all the activity in that spectrum of 10 megahertz. Now, I've seen where people are using it with a screen width of 5 megahertz on their computer and kind of maxing out their computer. So I would definitely have to get a different computer that can handle that bandwidth. But it's on my wish list for a future radio. And like I say, and they've come out recently in the past month for version 2 of that SDR. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that, the fact that this particular SDR, the one here, the Fifi SDR, has that limit of that bandwidth that you can look at one time. Now it will sweep from, gosh, I don't know how low it'll go, but I know it'll tune, that's the correct term, it'll tune the whole shortwave spectrum from 2 megahertz to 30 megahertz. And it does a good job. I'm pretty sure it'll go below 2 megahertz. I'm sure it'll do medium wave and maybe even long wave. I don't know. But it has a limitation that you can only show on your computer screen 192 kilohertz at one time. So that's the limitation. So anyway, that's the show for this morning. I guess the band has currently died, but it was really booming in. I started listening at about 6 a.m. this morning, and the signals were booming in, and it looks like they lasted till about 9:30, and hopefully they'll come back. this afternoon. Now, let me just take a quick look at something. Okay, right now, the solar flux index is only 79. So I don't know what it was when I started. It may have been higher, but now it's only 79. 79 is pretty low for that characteristic of shortwave listing. It's just one indication of what kind of frequency you can receive on your shortwave radio. Okay, so I'm going to take one more look at the chat room, and I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Okay, Thomas says, oh, I got several comments. 73 said, Voice of Vietnam, weak here on 12.020. Larry says, hi. Thomas says, again, I've scanned the area here with my Texan 880 and found a lot of strong frequencies if you want to try them, Tom. Okay. And then Temple Man is here, says hi. And then Tom says he scanned and found 5830, 7405, 7490, 7570, 9395, and 9570, 9955, 11,825. Thanks, Thomas. And Jeff is here. I'm going to shut down. I think the band has gotten pretty quiet here in Florida. But if you enjoyed this show, and if you enjoyed this type of content where I do a live show with me scanning the shortwave bands, and I can also do live shows where me scanning the VHF and UHF bands. If you enjoy that, please give me a thumbs up. Even better yet, leave me a comment. And I enjoy doing this. Sometimes it takes me a while to get set up, and sometimes I have some things break. But so far, I'm getting close to getting it somewhat perfected. In that I've got a laptop now. It's an old HP Pavilion ZV6000. I got it cleaned up, and it's working. The only problem it has is the screen won't stay up. The hinges are broken and it falls down, so I have to prop it up. My other laptop that I was trying to use, for some reason, the power on switch just stopped working. Just kaput. So I do now have an old laptop that is good enough that I can monitor my output to verify what I'm sending out as far as video, and I can see the chat room at the same time. Yeah, 73. I know if the span is too large, you won't be able to see weak stations. But I like that option to have the wide screen, and then, just as you say, then I can zoom in on things. So it'd be nice to have that option so you can zoom in and out. Like I say, right now, my maximum screen width for the spectrum width is 192 kilohertz, which is darn good. It's just, like I say, you get a Chevrolet, then you want a Cadillac. Just one of those things. I must admit, the half a dozen SDRs that I've tried that had HF capability, in that they had an up converter built in, didn't work 1/10 as well as his Fifi SDR. But And it was like I say, it was given to me by Manuel, one of my friends. Um, but it does have that limitation. So anyway, yeah, yeah. 73 says 192 kilohertz is indeed very poor. Yes, it is. It's not poor, but it's not great, especially nowadays where you can get that SDR Play SDR for the same price, $150, and it's got that huge 10 megahertz bandwidth, limited by the speed and power of your computer. Yeah, Werner six says it takes some time to configure your software to your taste. Boy, you are right about that. And I still have several packages, software packages, that I haven't gotten to work with this Fifi. And I've got packages that I've gotten working, and when I try another software package, it breaks them. Like uh, HDSDR. That's a nice little software package. I had it working with the Fifi, and I tried something else, and I broke it, and now it won't listen or won't control the Fifi SDR anymore. And I've tried everything to get that back and get it working. I cannot get it back. Another software package is the SDR Uno. Now, the SDR Uno was made for the SDR Play SDR, but they released a version, I think it was last month, that will work with other SDRs, and it should work. Well, actually, it does work for other people with this Fifi SDR. I tried for hours and hours. I couldn't get it to work. I had help. I had somebody helping me. We could not get it to work. It kind of works, but it doesn't seem to want to control the frequency. I can use another program, set the frequency, and then it will receive that frequency. But when I try to change the frequency, it kind of tries to work, but doesn't work. So it's not, the controlling software is just not there. It says it's missing the DLL that's needed to control the Fifi. I tried putting that DLL all over my computer in different directories, everything. It doesn't see it. So that's the history on that. And what I think I'll do, since we were talking, since I am talking, babbling about the various software packages for SDRs, and there's a ton of them. I did a show that showed you, it's like hundreds of programs that will control these SDRs. And boy, as Werner Six said in the chat room, it takes patience to get them working. And I don't know what the key is to keep one software package from breaking another one, because I have definitely broken packages. Plus, if I go back and I plug in one of my TV dongles, SDR, it doesn't work anymore. I've broken the interface to those. So I was actually going to use this old laptop I got, this old HP laptop I got, and hook up what I consider my best TV dongle working on VHF and UHF to that computer, get it working and leave it alone, not touch it. And then on the computer I'm using for this Hangout, which is my desktop, I got it working with a Fifi. I'm going to leave it alone. Matter of fact, I got it working with SDR console, Genesis, SDR console version 2, and that's about it. I can't get it to work with SDR Sharp. I can't get it to work with HD SDR. I got 2 or 3 versions of that. I can't get it to work. And I did get it to work with the software that came with it, which is SJ10 Fifi. That works. It works with that, but that software is kind of down version of another package, and it has a lot of limitations of what it can do. So I don't use that. Another software package that came with the Fifi was Rocky. I never did get that to work. And it came with the Fifi. I never did get it to work. So that's kind of where I'm at on my SDRs, and works with the SDRs. Okay, Veneer 6 says he has the ELAD FDM S2, which is a fantastic radio. I don't know what the S2 is, but I've seen other YouTube channels where someone is using a ELAD SDR, and they are pretty. But the one that I've seen is a transceiver, and I think it's over $1,000. Megahertz span, you'll need to have to run an i5 or i7 processor. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that whatsoever. And I doubt that I could get, probably I couldn't get over 1, maybe 2 megahertz span on this old Dell desktop that I have, maybe not even that. And I probably, if I'm running that, I probably can't do a Hangout at the same time. So it would strictly be offline using of that, and probably having to use a regular video camera to capture my screen, because I don't think this computer, it's a dual core, it's got 3 megs of memory, but it's old technology. And that's about the best I've got. I take that back. I do have a quad core that I used to use, and I still use for my shows, and it's a quad core, but it's running Windows XP. And the reason it's running Windows XP is because back then when I got it, I had a lot of programs that wouldn't run on anything newer than XP. So I kind of reserved that computer to Windows XP. I've wanted to make it a dual boot computer so I can have Windows XP and Windows 7 running, but I just haven't done that. And I don't know if I personally could do that. Okay. Wow, what are we up to now? Well, we're almost up to an hour now. So I'm going to shut this down. Hope you've enjoyed it. And what's the beauty of doing a Hangout is I can run much longer, and it automatically saves the show to YouTube. Matter of fact, it does it to YouTube faster than I wanted to, because I don't get a chance to edit it before people see it. So anyway, that's the show for today. I thank everybody for stopping by and watching the show live. I plan on doing more of these, since I've kind of got these 2 old computers working with Hangouts. So, and I enjoy the feedback. That's what I like about doing Hangouts, is I get this feedback in the chat room, people making suggestions, what I should do, telling me mistakes I made and everything. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye. Now, where's that button? Okay, stop broadcast. Bye-bye.